Your pitch to him to join the Lake Show would be...
Understand the Laker brand. They have a formula of winning.
Join the big man crew. Kareem, Michael, Shaq.
Andre Drummond, look me in the eye and turn up your volume. James, Rob, myself, we've worked hard for this organization. We have 10 rings between the three of us. Stop fooling around. You're not going to play for the Knicks because they're a mess. This could be the only chance in your life to wear the purple and gold. To play with the king, LeBron James. To dine with royalty. The house that Kobe, Magic, and Big Game and Kareem built. This is your opportunity. Don't overthink it. You're a Laker. Join the team. Let's win a ring, and let's rage.
That's beautiful, Gus.
That's right.
Andre Drummond putting it on his story. Rob crying. Brez is here. Brez, Andre Drummond. Here to the Lakers.
Yep.
Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, here we are with a Hall of Famer and a guy who's won 7 rings, and you're the one who went viral with that pitch.
Yeah.
That was outstanding.
Thanks, buddy.
That was all just off the top of your head, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Well, those guys went first.
Yeah. A little time to
the
think.
inspiration was there from, the three of us with all the work we put in the rings. Those blood, sweat, and tears for all three of us.
Well done. Well done. And by the way, what an investment for the Lakers. Maybe the best low-cost player they've ever signed. It was under $1 million that they're going to have to give Drummond. Why not, right? I mean, when you get a guy who has led the league in rebounding for the last 5 years, you have to do it. It's going to be some interesting things. When can he start to play? He's got to pass some COVID protocols, likely. Maybe Wednesday against Milwaukee. Maybe that might be a little too soon. The league and the Lakers are kind of interviewing Andre about where he's been and how he got to L.A. and that type of thing. So not sure when he'll exactly get into the roster, but when will he start? That's a bigger question. Will he eventually pass Marc Gasol on the depth chart? We'll have to see.
James, one of the conversations around Andre Drummond and where he would go is the fact that he's a free agent. He's still really young. He's a 2-time All-Star. Where is he at in his career? Still wants to get paid, still numbers, or does he really want to have a chance to win a championship? What does it tell you about Andre Drummond that he leaves the Eastern Conference, leaves a lot of money, and he's coming to play in L.A.?
Well, he's made a decision. First he wanted to get out of Detroit. His options, if I'm correct, are pretty good. He gets a free agent next year.
Oh, yeah, in about 4 months.
So, he's young. He's going to get to explore one of the teams that he might think could win championships in his future. LeBron here a couple more years, AD. He might like that. It'll be interesting to see how they make that free agency work, Brez. But it tells you that he wants to take a look. And, everyone knows that LeBron wins and that he gets to the finals at least. So I think he wants to take a look at that.
Interesting, Rob. I mean, you and James were winning when you guys first came into the league. Andre Drummond's never won a playoff series.
He hasn't?
Detroit, no.
Wow.
27 years old. So for him, maybe he wants a taste of that.
I think sometimes a lot of guys, when you're in this situation, he might say, you know what? I want to win a couple of rings for a couple of years, stay here, and then get paid because he's still young.
Yeah.
He still has the opportunity to explore, and not next year, but a few years down the line. Because sometimes guys value winning more than they value rings. And this might be the case for him where he wants to stay here, win rings, and then move on, and then get paid.
So this begs the next question, right? So Frank Vogel and that staff have decisions to make. Now, LeBron and AD are out. So right now the rotation, they're going to have to figure some things out. But when AD and Bron come back, I mean, James, not everyone can play. Andre Drummond, people think, will slide into the starting center role.
I think so.
Next to Anthony Davis. So Marc Gasol is going to have to take a different role. Markieff Morris, guys like that. People will have to change roles. That can sometimes be difficult, but it's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have. When you look at Marc Gasol's career, he's in his, 15th year maybe?
Right around there, yeah.
Right around in there. He's had his career pretty much. Drummond is 27. Mark's going to have to understand that. He's going to have to understand that his minutes might go down, and he'll fit into that role perfectly. He can back up, AD. He can back up, Drummond. He can come in the game for Trez if he has to. I think it's a perfect scenario. And to me, those are the only minutes that I think will be deducted, in my opinion.
If you're a realist here, you have to look around that team. When THT was playing good, we sat in here and said someone's going to lose minutes.
It's Wes Matthews.
It was Wes Matthews. And so if you look at this team and you go by productivity it's going to have to be Marc Gasol. And you don't want to say it because he's done so much, but you have to look at what Drummond can do compared to Marc. I know everybody said, well, start Marc a little bit and then bring Drummond off the bench. But no, I think you just start Drummond. And Marc said, Marc, take a page out of Wes Matthews' book, take a page out of Twin book, but stay ready, because we might need you.
Yeah, and listen, Brez, it'll change the style of play. Drummond is not the space the floor, shoot a three type of center.
Yeah, his career three-point percentage, I think, is 12%. So he's not going to be raining any threes, that's for sure. Hard to argue with a guy, though, who just 2 months ago, when everything was still going great in Cleveland, before they acquired Jarrett Allen, Drummond had a game against the Knicks, 33 points and 23 rebounds. This guy can score. He can carry teams. The knock, kind of what you and Rob were talking about earlier, he hasn't been a winner in the playoffs. So this guy kind of has to prove, like Kevin Love did a few years ago in Cleveland, I can join a winning team, help them get championships. I'm not always going to be a loser, so to speak, as far as lack of playoff experience and playoff wins. Here's the perfect opportunity for him to show that he can definitely win some playoff games.
49% from the free throw line as well. And look at Dwight Howard last year, too. He had that knock on him, came here, helped the team win a ring. All right, Drummond's new team raged and grabbed 52 rebounds in the win over Orlando. Frank Vogel's happy about it, and he's speaking with Mike in the media. Dennis Schroeder with 24, 7 of 14. Kuz with 21, 8 for 20, 11 rebounds. Trez, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks. Lakers get the win. They get to 30 wins. Rob drives the Trez truck. I'm riding shotgun. He's already talking to Mike in the media.
Hey, Trez, what was the key in that fourth quarter after Orlando had battled back to get the lead? Where did you guys buckle in to turn the game back around?
We started packing the paint, making them make extra passes and shoot uncomfortable threes that they didn't want to take. You know, they're a big team known for scoring a lot in the paint and, you know, causing a lot of havoc with driving, and then finding somebody down low on the baseline. So we really just wanted to pack the paint and make sure that, you know, we make them kick it out, and then we close out to the three-point line.
And Trez, just before the game, we learned that Drummond is going to be joining the mix. Just wonder what you thought of him in battles you guys have had over the years, and what he might add to you.
I mean, he's a strong, solid player, man, on both ends of the floor, man, offensively and defensively. High caliber blocking shots, defensive rebound on the offensive end of the floor. He's a load. Guy gets down in the lane and demands his position. And, you know, you can't miss him, man. He's a big, dominant presence, and it's definitely going to be a good, you know, breath of fresh air to having him come on the top lineup. You know, I think he's eager and ready to go and ready to get out there. So, I mean, that's a great attitude that, you know, anybody can have coming into our organization. So we can't wait for him to get here. And we're going to welcome him with open arms, and hopefully just continue to keep what we're doing well right now.
Dan Orkin. Hey, Trez, what happened to your knee? It looked like you were shaken up a little bit, and obviously you were able to stay in the game, but if you just kind of let me know what happened.
It's one of those plays, kind of like a funny ball on your elbow. Guy drove baseline real hard, and I wear a pad on that knee, but he, you know, knee me literally right behind the pad. So it was kind of one of those things where, you know, I kind of felt like a tingling sensation going through my leg, and kind of just went on for a little minute. But it's like I said, it's one of those funny ball type things. I'm fine, but definitely something that scares you when it happens at that first point of contact.
Hey, Trez, you're talking about Andre and sort of how he's fired up. I guess it sounds like you've been able to talk to him. What has your communication been like with Andre kind of leading up to him joining the team?
Well, I'm not even going to lie to you about that. I haven't talked to him, honestly, man. This is just more so coming from, you know, the reports and just from our, you know, GM, Rob, speaking highly of him and his conversation with him, man. So, you know, just looking at things like that, man, you just see a guy who's ready to go. And then just in general, of me being a player and understanding his position, man, this guy's been sitting for, you know, 2.5 months almost where he hasn't played the game that he loves, and he's able to, you know, be able to call his job, man. I mean, anybody will be eager to get back out there on the floor and be ready to get out there. So, you know, basically, it's one of those things just speaking from, you know, a player's perspective.
Hey, Trez. Frank said before the game that, you know, when it comes to a situation like this, when they're bringing in a player, that they almost over-communicate with, you know, like a guy like yourself who plays the same position. Do you have a sense of how bringing Andre in could affect your role, affect the big man rotation, and what's going to be different going forward?
No, I haven't thought about that. That's not something for me to think about. It's not in my control. It's not something that, I make decisions on. People, us in general, everybody, human beings, we spend a lot of time wondering about the things that we can't control, that we don't have any, basically any control on, man. So everything that you just mentioned is everything come from the top office and coaching staff. It's nothing to do with me. I'm going to continue to keep playing the way that I play, bringing the energy that I bring, and just help my teammates feed off it. We got a great player in Andre Drummond, who is going to definitely help our team on both ends of the floor and help our organization overall. But it's not something that I kind of wrap my mind on or jump in my head for a million questions, because at the end of the day, I don't have the answers to them.
Look, I know you want that top of the key three back, okay?
Shit. That was supposed to be the ice. That was the Robert Horry shot.
Hey, you held on for the win, though, nonetheless, in this case. It did get a little dicey down the stretch, but what's the importance of you just finding a way to win 2 games in a row now as you keep trying to stack wins without LeBron and AD?
Man, we gotta get as many as we can. We were just saying we just got to bank as many wins. This was a tough 4 game. Orlando got some young guys that play hard. We made some mistakes at the end, couldn't really get no shots to fall, but we got the win and on to the next.
A double-double for you in this case, plus a block and a steal. Yeah, getting on the glass a little bit. Keith, what have you been trying to do in this role without AD in there as you've been starting pretty consistently? Does anything change for you when you're in that traditional spot you've been coming in off the bench last season?
Yeah. Well, without those guys, obviously we need to score the ball. So I got to kind of bring up my old game, kind of be aggressive, shooting the ball, trying to get in the paint, make plays for others, trying to score, just do all the small stuff that we need.
Hey, I got to ask you about Andre Drummond. I believe you had some overlap in Detroit, and just kind of what he brings to the team as the Lakers announced that before the game that he'll be joining the purple and gold.
Yeah, I played with him a couple months in Detroit before I came to LA. He's a hard-nosed guy, man. He's physical in the paint. He's going to block shots. He's going to rebound. He's going to dunk the ball. He's going to be exactly what we need to make this playoff push, and I'm excited to have him.
All right, last thing, Keith. You get a rare 2 days between games. It seems like it's been every other day. Do you think just that alone can do a little something for you as you get ready for the Bucks?
Yeah, first I want to say thank God for that, because we need it. And then second, yeah, man, it's going to be a tough matchup Wednesday. Me personally, I need to rest up, get my mind right, my body right for this matchup with Giannis, and we're going to try to get this win.
All right, man. Hey, look, the dagger 3 didn't go in, but you got the win, okay?
Yeah, man.